Welcome, nerdizens, to another StarCraft 2 broadcast here on Sunday of the month of July. My name is Anaris, and today we are here watching oGsMC, that's right, the Protoss man himself, play against his Zerg opponent, StartaleKingKong. Now, I believe this is just a standard ladder match. I wasn't able to get a whole lot of information about it, and everything was just set to default on the replay server. So I'm just going to go ahead and assume that this was a match between these two guys on the Korean ladder, and let's actually go over a little bit of players. You hear me just hitting my fists in my palm? Yeah! Getting ready! Alright, King Kong, real name is Yoo Chung-hee, 21-year-old player from South Korea on Team Startale. Recent accomplishments, he did take first place in the StarCraft 2 Southeast Asia Masters Cup number 5. He beat out Moonglade in a 3-2 best-of-5 match series. So pretty exciting stuff there. Over here, this man probably needs no introduction, but we'll give him one anyways because he's that awesome. Jang Min-chul, 20-year-old player from South Korea. He is a two-time GSL champion. So that's what I mean by he probably needs no introduction. I'll let most of you know him already, but as far as other accomplishments goes, I don't want to give any NASL results, but we'll talk about that in a second. He did take third place in the Home Story Cup, number 3. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. As far as the NASL goes, actually, if you need an example of his behavior, of his colorful style before and after tournament matches, look no further than the NASL. I think it was when he played against Select when he initially marched out on the stage and points at the crowd and got those cool sunglasses on, and then he's also known for doing those throat-slitting kind of gestures at live tournaments against other players. So pretty interesting stuff there from oGsMC. I'm looking forward to a super fantastically awesome matchup, and actually it's funny, I was going to say super excited. Random side note. Something I hear every caster say, including Day9, Artosis, Tasteless, they all say, I'm super excited to see what this guy's gonna do. So I'm gonna try to cut back on saying that, because it's just everybody says that now. Even though I am really excited, don't get me wrong, I am just squee with delight. But yeah, let's just kind of let's not copy. Don't want to ruin that there. Now we do have King Kong coming over with the Overlord, spotting his opponent right off the bat. Of course, you could see that is his only current scout right now, so he did get fairly lucky, nailing it over there in the northeastern position like he did. He's opening up with a pretty standard opener, going with that conservative play to get a few Zerglings out with that metabolic boost upgrade, trying to capture his expansion, going down right here. Now this is Typhon Peaks. This is not one of the maps that I actually cast on very frequently, but it's still a pretty interesting map nonetheless. Interesting because, well, mainly, if I were a Zerg player, I think I would actually hate this map. I look at it on the mini-map, and it looks like just one giant choke point running throughout. There are some spots where it is wide open, so that is definitely helpful. But I'm sure that MC is going to be looking to exploit some of the terrain features here on this map. You see the expansion down here is on lowered terrain, and of course there's a set of destructible rocks leading or guarding a passageway directly over to King Kong's expansion down here, again on that lower terrain. So we'll wait and see exactly what's going to happen here. In the meantime, let's actually look at MC's build. He has opened up with a pretty standard building wall off there, and he does have the Nexus going down, so pretty good response to, not sure what they're saying, I guess they had a pause there. But pretty good response to the Zerg player getting his own expansion. Look at those Zerglings heading across the field, definitely cutting back on those drones for a little bit, hoping to put some pressure here on MC. Will he be able to, though? I'm not really convinced. Look at MC's building placement. This is really solid for defense. He's going to be able to wall off here without too much difficulty, and even with the Zerglings running around here, not that big of a problem. Oh, look at that, 1 sentry actually popped out of here, and this expansion is going to be taking some pretty hefty damage. Unfortunately, Warp Gate technology not quite done yet, so let's see if he's actually going to be forced to cancel this or not. Yes, he does have to cancel it. He does get the money back, so that is a good thing. He'll be able to rebuild that very quickly. The Zerg player, of course, doing a good job delaying that expansion. We'll see actually if cutting the drones was worth it, though. We can look at the income right now and see 28 to 25, so he will have to make up for that gap just a tiny bit. Of course, you see he is making 8 drones as we speak, so that's going to play very, very well into his economic recovery. Zergling's actually managing to get around MC. What are they going to be able to do, though? I'm not really sure. You see the Zealots warping in right here, so that's going to wrap up that. Oh, man, one sentry going to look at the crazy force fields. That sentry just hopping on top of those things, like sliding tribe style, just skiing all the way down one or the other, and eventually landing safely below. MC does have the Zealot position in a good spot. Again, very good placement. All right. Attack is over, so those Zerglings now, let's see, did they pay for themselves? Units lost. Oh, man, only 50 resources there. 1 unit lost. Oh, man, I don't know. We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see how this game goes on. You see he is getting double gas down here at the bottom. I think he's already got, yeah, this one's just about done as well. Double evolution chambers. Ooh, getting those super fast upgrades. Oh, man, Roach Warren's going down, so we could see a very heavy Roach play here. So oGsMC is probably going to have to send an observer up there and scout that out and start throwing down a couple extra observers himself around the map. I'm sure that he will do that at some point here. One thing I do want to point out, this is an opener that MC has been using a lot lately. This Dark Shrine. The nice thing about it is it forces the Zerg to get a crap ton of detection, and it also gives the Protoss player nice map control. He really can limit the amount of expansions that the Zerg player has. It opens up harassment options even during a fight. So, yeah, definitely a solid opener there by MC. And, of course, Zerg player, like I said before, he is primarily going with the Roaches right now. He does have a few Zerglings on the way. Weapons 1 and that Global Reconstitution upgrade as well, so we're going to see those Roaches moving just a little bit faster there. And the expansion for MC is complete. You can see, actually, the worker count now, 41 to 42. Whew, sorry about that. Had a little bit of a sneeze there. 41 to 42, nice placement of that photon cannon, leaving it kind of exposed there, primarily just using it as a detector. Wants to know when those things are coming as early as possible. There's a pylon checking out the back of the hidden area in the base. And other than that, not a whole lot is actually going on at this point. There is one DT trying to pick off some forces over here, but no kills. You saw it just got there a second ago. You saw another one over here again. Not able to actually get any serious damage done. We can just look at the results there in the units lost tab. No workers there for the red player, MC. One, of course, earlier on for King Kong. As far as income goes now, you can see Zerg still just slightly ahead on the minerals, 51 to 43. And units tab, you can just look and see there's one DT still hanging out on the map. I think that's that right there. Yeah, again, he's just kind of making sure that nothing's coming in the back. Might decide to go and see if he can get inside of the base again, although he's going to encounter that Spore Crawler, and that's pretty much going to be that. Yeah, so now he's going down there. He will scout out this expansion, getting that crucial information. Did he actually spot it, though? No, he did not. So very close. More important that he just wants to try to get this DT out. Unfortunately, he was not able to, so did die indeed there very quickly. Looking at the army size now, you can see 80 to 91. Of course, that does include the worker count discrepancy right there. But overall, you can see a lot more gas has been invested into the Protoss army. That's pretty much standard at this point in the game. All the sentries being placed. There are those force fields going down at that nice choke position. Zerg will be knocking out these Rockstars. I think is a good move. It will actually allow him to harass a base once it goes down here, and also provide him for a secondary means of entering right here. Of course, there's also this area down here with the rocks, and there's an Overseer coming over, hopefully hoping to scout out any information that he can. Not a lot to see, though, that he doesn't already really know. The Dark Templars Shrine, the Forge, the robotics facility with the observers there. That's pretty much standard. So, with those observers out, it's really going to limit the amount of damage that King Kong is going to be able to do. Because you see, he's researching that tunneling claws, so he's hoping on being able to bypass the force fields with that upgrade. I don't know how well it's going to work, though. Really? It's going to come down to the positioning of those Overseers. You see MC does have one with his army right now, which is actually running up and is going to encounter the Roaches, which I don't think King Kong was actually paying attention to at the moment. Unfortunately, that lack of attentiveness will result in the death of two of those Roaches, forcing the rest of them to retreat back to his base. Currently 1-1, working on 2-2 as we speak. Of course, ground weapons level 2 on the way for the Protoss. There's one DT actually just coming up here and starting to do a little bit of damage. You saw I got a couple kills. That's about it. Nothing too serious. Unfortunately for him, the Burrow upgrade, very, very wise choice, I think, since he was facing those early DTs. Very smart to get that. And now the Protoss actually might try to come down here and bust up this expansion. Will be kind of difficult to actually come down with this concave. The force fields will be a nice inclusion into the strategy, though, keeping the Zerg player from really doing any serious damage to it, not being able to get a good concave on this ramp, and allowing the Protoss to keep firing off pot shots here and there. Just a little bit of damage here on the hatchery. That's about it. There's a nice little proxy pylon. We'll give him a nice forward position to warp into. Lots of zealots. I think that's an extremely good call to be able to keep those roaches at bay here in this tight spot. You have to worry about that and that. You really don't want to have the Zerg player be able to pull your part too far out past that, or else you start running into and not being able to shoot off quite as many shots with the Stalkers while on this ramp. Roaches were trying to get up here, but unfortunately for them, that observer was able to spot that. Even though they were digging through the force fields, still not enough. They just did not dig deep enough, man. I don't know. They need to get the Minecraft upgrade or what, bust out the diamond picks, but they definitely need to do something. And this poor little animal, what is this? This is a female Karak. Poor little guy just running around with a million roaches. Might end up actually getting pregnant. I don't know what that would look like, nor do I really want to see it in the future. But for right now, I want to point out something very interesting. He does have a Colossus now, so I'm really wondering here. Let's see, I think there's a Spire already. Yeah, there is a Spire. I'm wondering if he's actually going to be dedicating a whole lot of money to those Corruptors. You see right now the Protoss is actually supply blocked. He is 198 supply, so I think what he might do is let some of these Roaches die off, get a few Corruptors, and just kind of wait and see what MC decides to do with this Colossi. Whether or not he decides to get a whole bunch of them, or maybe just get one or two, fake them out, and then go, if the Zerg response with the Corruptors is very high, switch over to Immortals and do that. That being said, it looks like MC is actually going to be relying pretty heavily on that blink to get some good positions. So with the Immortals, he's going to have to make sure, he's going to have to babysit him. He doesn't want to blink out of position and let those Immortals become too exposed. Of course, they are often they target a focus fire. But more important issues now, a couple Corruptors have entered the field here as this one Colossus is on the front lines. I'm surprised it's not taking any damage yet. There we go, dropping down super quick as King Kong trying to reinforce his army there. He's got a few caught up here in the back, not able to engage. Stalkers have a nice solid wall here, keeping the Colossus alive. One hit point. Oh man, Corruptors finally able to take that down. But so many Blink Stalkers, they're able to actually take down the Corruptors' numbers a good bit. One going down, two as well. And now the Zerg is forced to retreat back down to the bottom of the ramp here, where this is a much more favorable position for him to engage, as he will be able to fall back right here, pull the Protoss in, and profit. Expansion going down for King Kong. Pretty good spot. Might expect to see some scouting here from MC at some point. Like I said before, he does have those DTs, and he is known for using them for scouting out bases. Sure enough, there we go, right as rain, sending those out across the map here, probably checking here, 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 and the other natural places that the Zerg would look to expand, because he sure as heck knows that he's going to have to at this point, at some point in the near future, especially to support the this heavy Roach army, and he keeps throwing at the Protoss. Unfortunately for him, though, he does not have the Corruptor support this time to take out the Colossus, so it's going to be doing a decent bit of splash damage there, forcing the retreat from by the Zerg player, and now we're sitting here at almost the 20-minute mark. The expansion has been discovered. Sure enough, those two DTs will be able to take that out. Like I said before, this is something we've seen from MC many times. Very good awareness on the map, and now the Infestors have come into play. Oh, wow, it's definitely some fungal time here. This is just asking for it. All the Stalker play, we've seen so much of it at this point in the game. But you know, it's funny, actually, having cast Jangmin Tool for a long time now. Actually, I think in one of his games I cast when he was playing under the name of Jangmin Chul, and even then his blink micro was exceptionally solid. And if you haven't seen that game, I think it's one of the older ones. I don't think my casting was quite as improved as it is in comparison to a long time ago, but you should definitely still check that out, kind of seeing Jangmin Chul's early days in StarCraft 2 competitive scene here. There's a nice solid blink, keeping all of his Roaches out of range, forcing the Corruptors to run away. This expansion, meanwhile, has been defeated. You can see it is now completely gone. This one drone actually just canceling out that extractor there. Very solid decision. Zerg actually choosing to forsake that expansion entirely, realizing that he requires the entire commitment of his forces up here to deal with the Stalker Colossi in order to hold off the more immediate threat. You see up here, this expansion, it's already been taken down once, and this is the one way closer to his base, so he does not want to lose it. Unfortunately, this is really not looking good for the Zerg player. Just so many Stalkers here. Nice offensive blink. There's the GG from King Kong, giving MC the game. Alright guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Again, if you like it, please be sure to subscribe. That helps me out a ton, more than you can possibly know, almost as much as a hug from a kitten. And that's pretty much all I've got. Thank you guys for watching. I'm out.